Hey everybody, this is Glidercat and it's time to play. We are back in Angel Mountain, Farm Sim 22, 16 times map. Let's get back to it. Today is a cow day. I'm bringing our third load of cows. This is our mature dairy cow load. I did 2 loads already just before hitting record. We did a load of baby beef cows and I chose a different breed. We'll take a look. They're a different color, and I brought a load of baby dairy cows, also a different breed than these Holsteins here. Let's drop these off, then we'll take a look at the cow barns and see if we can pick out the other variety, the new variety that we've got mixed in here. These are the mature dairy. Hopefully we'll start getting a decent amount of milk here before too long. Select, move to husbandry, boom, boom, boom. Let's go park the trailer and then we'll come back and shut the, or actually let's shut the barn now. Boom. Let's take a look at the cows. Let's take a look at what we got. There we go. There's our the new breed. I think these, I can't remember what these ones are called. But that is a baby cow. There's all our Holsteins, I believe. And then over here, we've got one here that doesn't belong as well. I think this is the limousine breed of cow. Just different color. But I think it's going to come into play later. Unfortunately, when these guys have to be taken to the butcher, I think it's going to help that we have 2 different kinds, actually. But yeah, not bad. We've got a good amount of cows in both pens. 300 in the dairy barn, and if I walk over to the other one, let's see if it'll show up in the bottom right. How many we've got over here? I think we still have more over here. Yeah, 378 of the beef cows. How's food and everything looking? Food is at 116,000 liters. The beef cows were just feeding hay. Should be able to get 100% productivity out of that. Looks like there's plenty of straw and a bit of slurry accumulated. And let's look at the other one. This guy, not quite as much food. Yeah, it's got its own slurry tank. Straw looks good. Food looks okay. These guys we're feeding TMR in order to get our full productivity. And then we do have about 14,000 liters of milk. Not really enough to bother hauling yet. Let's go park this guy. And then we'll pay off some debt and do our chickens, right? Let's get more chickens. Actually, I'm going to leverage our truck to get me over by the chicken coop. Get a little bit of honey accumulating over here. I'll show you. We have a bunch of apiaries down by our sugar beet field. We need to put some down by the new potato field that we just plowed that we just harvested a couple episodes ago. But we're starting to get a little bit of honey. Not a ton, but something. We're also getting, I can't see it from here, getting a little bit of wool that eventually we're going to need to buy the spinnery and take that wool over. But let's get more chicken. We've been doing 50 of these little ones, 50 babies, or 60 babies, I guess. We have 485 in the coop right now. We're going to, I guess, keep cranking this up. Let's buy 60 of the little ones. We'll buy 60 of the bigger ones. Still pretty cheap. And then I've been getting 5 roosters just for the heck of it. Still pretty cheap. Boom. And then I want to do the same thing in our other chicken coop. We're going to need, I think, lots and lots of eggs. So let's hop onto the map and fast travel over to the other chicken coop. And we'll do basically the same darn thing. I guess we could start with the roosters this time, since they're already selected. Select 5, buy those. And then let's get the full 60 of these. Boom. And 60 of these guys. I think that's right. Did I do that right? Not sure. 610. That's it for animals. Let's pay off 20 grand of debt as we do pretty much every episode. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's get in the truck. I think, oh, actually, before we get on the truck, I wanted to go over our production lines just to kind of get up to speed where things are at. Last episode, we went over all the fields and kind of what my thoughts are for what fields we want to purchase next. Let's just look at the production lines and see where things stand. At the end of last episode, we took a bunch of nails over to the carpentry mill and took some planks too. Let's just see. Sawmill, this sawmill, I think. Well, I'm not sure which one's which anymore. But both sawmills need some wood, right? We can store 250,000 liters. We're down to 118,000 on this guy. And we're down to 76,000 on this side. We're going to haul some wood this episode to the sawmill near the refinery. Like I said, I'm not sure which one's which. I'm looking at the list here. I wish we could rename them, but we can't. And then when we get around to buying that big coal field that I talked about at the end of the last episode, there's a bunch of trees there. We'll cut those down, and then we'll just haul those trees over to the sawmill over by the old man's mill. Or the mammoth mill, sorry. We've got 3 apiaries. I've been bringing clover over to these guys. So they're looking pretty good on clover, right? They've all got more than 600,000 liters of clover. And then crates, yeah, they're doing pretty good on crates too, I think. We don't have enough honey accumulated to really bother with collecting the honey or the wax right now. Bakery, nothing going on really with the bakery. Nothing for a while. This is one of those businesses that's going to need workers. We're working towards getting that building, the apartment building. Carpentry mill, yeah, this is where we just brought over some nails. We got room for more if we want to haul more. But it's doing good on nails. We brought planks over there too. We're always perpetually short on planks. And probably will be until we get a lot of poplar producing, because we can make planks out of wood chips over at the mammoth mill. But not too bad. We got a bunch of pallets we can haul out of here. Right now we're okay. We don't need to take them anywhere. Barrels, right now the only place we use barrels, I think, is at the fermenting house. Nothing really to worry about with the carpentry mill. Composter should have some straw to process. We'll get double, wherever the straw one is, we'll get double the compost as we put in the straw. So that's processing. We don't have that much in there. But we'll get another a million compost just out of the straw that's in there. Our crayon factory over by the refinery. We've got salt in there for Play-Doh. We haven't brought any flour over. We're not making Play-Doh yet. We are making pencils. And I don't think I've taken a load of these out of here yet. But we're making pencils from coal and planks, I think. Yeah, planks. And then we're making crayons from wax from our apiaries. And what else? Paper from Old Man's Mill, I think. Or no, I'm sorry, from Mammoth Mill. And then dye from the refinery. So that's all good. We're not going to sell anything. Nothing too urgent there. We could always throw some more salt in. And then we'll load planks as the sawmill produces them. This is all kind of slow burn. We're not going to sell any of these things. It's just for 10 million liter objectives. Dairy, nothing going on here. They're waiting for the next load of milk. Not enough product there to bother moving. The drying mill, I didn't take anything out of here. Waiting on our grapes, our raisins, so we can make raisins. It's going to be a while before we can harvest grapes. Supplies look pretty good. Coal is loaded. And then there's plenty of bananas and cherries here. Nothing to do there. Fermenting house, we just kind of talked about it. It's a little light on water, but it's okay. Melon and cabbage. That's for the melon wine and the sauerkraut. It's a little on the low side, but not urgent. Production's pretty slow. So that's in fairly good shape. Nothing to really take out of here. fertilizer plant. I think I mentioned last episode I hauled a bunch of silt. I have been selling half of the production out of here. So I'll store a solid fertilizer, then I'll go sell one. Same thing with the liquid. I haven't sold any salt water. That produces pretty darn slow. And I haven't sold any herbicide either. That's all going. No herbicide production until we load more potatoes in there. We don't really need herbicide. Our greenhouses and orchards are loaded, but we do need it for the 10 million liter objective. So won't hurt to have more potatoes. Nothing to do there really. It's looking pretty good. Grain house. This is our mill. Nothing to do here. It's got pallets, just waiting on some grain. I've been hesitating on bringing stuff over here till we have more grain, and I know how much grain the chickens are going to consume. But we may bring some over here and start producing flour here before too long. Greenhouses are kind of a mixed bag. Got plenty of herbicide. Took 100,000 liters over to each one just recently. And they consume that pretty slow. So this 131,000 liters, even though it looks low compared to being able to store 2 million, that's going to last a very long time for us. And I've been slowly bringing over compost too as our composter produces it. I'm letting this stock accumulate because I'm anticipating we're going to be buying businesses before we get to 2 million liters stored. Buying businesses that we can ship this product off to and make more refined products. Was early on I was selling all this stuff for income, but man, as I looked at all the production chains we have yet to get, kind of want to save this stuff and refine it, not just sell it. We've got 2 of each greenhouse type. They're slightly different. So greenhouse 4, this first one is slightly different than the second one. The ones that I placed myself have an additional product. At least a couple of them have some additional products, but nothing really to do here. There's plenty of storage room. We're not going to risk these things stopping. They've got plenty of inputs. So all the greenhouses are kind of in decent shape. Accumulating products, that's fine. We'll be putting down businesses where we can ship this product out. And if we get close, we'll just start storing it because we need 10 million liters of all these things. The hen house, that's one we recently bought. This is one we kind of automatically bought. Chicken and roosters. This was all free just because I could not find a way to get chicken and roosters into this factory building. I don't have a trailer that hauls these things. I can't use like the production revamp mod to automatically send chicken and stuff here from our coops. So we just bought this stuff for free. It's kind of cheaty, but I just don't have another way to do it. Water is loaded. I brought plenty of clover over, so we're in good shape there. And we've got an initial load of crates. Crate production is kind of weak right now. This is another thing that I think depends on planks. But we've got enough to get going. And we've actually got a bunch of chicken cuts in here. We're going to have to do something with these. Either store them and or sell them. And then there's several businesses that use chicken cuts, but this is producing pretty fast. We also get egg production out of here, and we get down. This down we're going to use over at the old man's mill to make feather dusters. And that and the chicken cuts are what's unique, right? We're getting eggs from our chicken coops. Nothing to do here, really. Ice cubes, we're mainly feeding these into the slushy plant right now. But this will be used once we get in the fishing area. Looks like we've got a load we could haul somewhere, or we're close to having a load. All the inputs look pretty good. We're close to being able to take a full load of sacks over here. So we'll keep an eye on that. Not urgent at all. Mammoth mill, how we looking here? Coal's good. Got room for more. Ore, we burn through this ore pretty darn fast. But we've got a lot. I just brought over plastic, so we're fully stocked on that. This plastic is used to make the sacks. And I've actually loaded some silver ore in here. Silver ore production is slow. It feels really slow, but I guess it's not too bad. And the silver ore is coming from our wash plants. And then we've got sand here for jars. I just recently loaded that up to mine a bunch of sand. And we make a ton of money off of these glass jars. Eventually, we're going to have to use these for products. Once we get like the Smucker's plant and Dole and things, I think they take jars as an input. But for now, we've been cashing out and making decent money on these. The rest of the products, drill pipe obviously we use for our 2 oil rigs. Paper we saw we're using over, I think, at the Cran factory or something. And sawdust is a byproduct. We'll just save 10 million liters of that up. Resin, super duper slow production. I'm a little nervous about if we're going to get to 10 million liters on this. This is used for glue as well over at the refinery. We take this resin over there. It's a byproduct, but man, is it slow to accumulate. Yeah, we'll see. We're going to have to run a whole lot of stuff through Mammoth Mill to get enough resin to meet our 10 million liter objectives. It could be that once we're able to start pushing wood chips in here, that things pick up. So if we look at plank production, it takes wood chips and a little bit of coal, and then we get all this stuff. I'd say 90% of the time, this is saying 0 because we just don't have a good source of wood chips. We've got 1 poplar field. Once we get a few poplar fields or a big giant one, maybe we can keep this thing running consistently. We'll get a bunch more planks into the system, paper, sawdust. Like I said, this is just for our 10 million liter objectives, and then a bunch of this resin. So maybe we'll be in good shape. But nothing urgent here. Ore looks good. That's usually what we run out of first. Ore and sand, those both look fine. So we're in good shape there. Nut house, I did just sell some mixed nuts. And for the time being, we're going to sell the mixed nuts and we're going to store the nutshells. Inputs look good. We got plenty of nuts in there. It takes a while to burn through these. Production is kind of slow, 2,400 cycles per month. Yeah, I brought a bunch of honey over here. Salt is loaded. Coal is loaded. We even have a lot of crates. So that's all really good shape. Crude oil. These guys go pretty fast through the drill pipe, but we're in decent shape. This guy's got way more drill pipe. Also decent shape. Nothing really to haul. Not even a full tank. A tanker's worth of crude oil to move. So those are just kind of on autopilot. They could use more coal, but they'd burn through the coal pretty slowly. So only uses 5 coal per cycle. So that's actually a lot, but we'll push more in there as time goes on. Old Man's Mill, this is where I mentioned we're going to be bringing these feathers over. Plenty of nails, plenty of coal, plenty of steel. Just planks, like we're always short on planks, but this guy is producing. I just sold some walkers and I just stored some wheelchairs. So yeah, nothing really to do there either. Orchards, kind of same as the greenhouses. Letting some of the produce accumulate so we get more businesses that we can ship this off to. And we're in good shape. I think soon, relatively soon in quotes, we might start dumping some manure into the orchards to get a bit more production out of them. You can see there's 2 production lines in here. One takes the compost, one takes the manure. I think we're going to have manure to spare. We only have like maybe just under 200,000 liters accumulated right now. But eventually I'm thinking maybe we'll push manure in here. I'm also thinking of getting more orchards, another copy of each one. Just to get us more production. But again, nothing to do here. This is all kind of caught up. Refinery has a bunch of crude oil now that we have 2 oil rigs. So that guy is staying productive. Pallets are being used for the charcoal. And so are the... Do we have wood chips? Yeah, a little tiny bit of wood chips from the sawmill that's local. And then here's that resin that's being turned into glue. Oh man, is that slow. If you look at the glue production, 2,400 cycles, and you only get 100 per cycle. So yeah, that takes a while. What else? Slushy. Yeah, so nothing to do at the refinery. Usually we got to push out this stuff. Hydrogen. We have more than we're ever going to need. And when this fills up, everything shuts down. So I do this between episodes a lot of times. Sell 2/3 of it and save about 1/3 of it for 10 million liter objectives. Plastic also accumulates really fast. Been selling a lot of that. Have stored a little bit, and then we use that in Mammoth Mill too. But there's tons. We have tons. This dye is the product that is the slowest to come out of here. We need a lot of dye, and it's a byproduct. You see, you only get 25 per batch. So because we need 10 million liters of dye, plus the dye that we need for the crayon factory and the dye we're going to need for clothing, I think dye is used in other areas. This is what's pushing us to have to produce so much or run so much crude oil through the refinery. And as a result, we get tons of surplus hydrogen and oxygen and plastic and stuff. But we'll make money out of that stuff, so it's not a big deal. Slushies, we're okay. We could probably be looking to bring loads of produce and stuff over here, including sugar. How are we doing on ice? Ice we could bring over too, right? We just saw at the ice house that we're close to having 200,000 liters. Calcium carbonate, that comes from our stone processing. But not bad. Not bad. This produces fairly slowly as well, 2,400 cycles per month. I'm not sure if we're going to sell this or just store it. It's just so slow to produce. I don't know if I want to sell it, but we'll see. Stone processing plant. This guy produces super fast. So as fast as we can put stones in there, it spits out its products pretty darn quick. So this will never stay full. We're in good shape on all these things. We're not really using lime much at all. Clean fill we're not using for anything, but we will later. This is actually an ingredient in fish food or something, this clean fill. Limestone not using yet. I think the cement factory will use that once we buy that. Same thing with the gypsum. And then calcium carbonate we are using over at the soda factory, which we're going to see. And did we pass the soda? Yeah, we did. Soda factory and the slushy. Soda, I just kind of skipped past. What are we doing over here? Tons of calcium carbonate. It's just talking about that. Loaded on water. Looks good. Sugar's okay. Diesel looks good. Oranges we could probably bring more over. And the only product we're not actively producing at the moment is the grape crush. But we do have a huge vineyard planted, so someday when we harvest grapes, we can bring some of those over here. What's next? Sugar. I mentioned we make tons of money out of this place. I just sold some molasses. Each load of 200,000 liters gets us like 150 grand. So want to keep the sugar beets loaded in here. We don't have any more to bring, I don't think, though. So we're going to burn through this. It's 250,000 liters of sugar beets and then 67,000 liters of sugar beet cut. There's not much we can do here until we harvest a new crop, although diesel's looking low. Yeah, we're going to eventually have to bring some diesel over here, probably fairly soon. So yeah, we'll keep that in mind. Clothing, we just bought this to take up space where we removed a sugar mill and there was light posts that were in the way, so we couldn't put the upgraded sugar mill in the same spot. But we do have wool that's accumulating, and we probably want to buy the spinnery, which is right nearby this, and start producing some fabric. This is another one of those things, businesses that use that dye that takes forever for us to produce. Needs box. This needs inputs. I just fed coal over here when I was mining coal last time. This business isn't really up and running just yet. Animal food. We're going to make our own TMR with the TMR mixer that we bought. So we probably won't use these production lines, but I do plan on using all of these pig food lines. And that's why we're in the process of turning over a field right now, and we're going to plant corn on it. Sunflower, we have one small field doing sunflower right now by the main farm. And canola, I think we actually have a little bit in storage. It was I think it was on one of the fields that we first bought or something. We haven't planted this yet, but we're gonna plant canola. And then we do have potatoes. I've managed to bring quite a few in, 383,000 liters of potatoes. I loaded this thing up with diesel. This is one of the few factories that takes a lot of diesel. This is not an Old Man 102 mod. This is a different mod available on the main farm simulator mod hub. It's called what's it called? US Animal Food or something. What else to do in here? Not much, right? We don't have these products, so I can't push them in. I just got to wait till we get corn and Wait till our sunflower crop comes through, and then maybe I can bring the canola over there and we can start producing pig food and buying pigs. That's a little ways off. What else? We have 2 stone wash plants. These guys we want to keep running if we can help it. We want to keep these running. They produce a bit slower. So we want to always keep these running. We're getting a lot of good product out of this. Gold we're going to use to recruit people. There's a silver ore. You can see I took that. I've been taking this over to the mammoth mill and turning it into silver bars. We get gold bars. There's no gold ore. So there's one less step here with the gold. We get bars straight silver. We get ore, and then we turn it into bars, which means we need to store up 10 million liters of this and 10 million liters of the silver bars. I've been selling silver a little bit, the silver bars. The downside with the gold bars and the silver bars is we can only take 25,000 liters at a time in our curtain side trailer. So it takes forever to haul. There's 8 truckloads full of gold here to haul. The gold we're actually going to be spending, like I said, on people. And I think we're going to have that apartment complex kind of near these wash stones. So we won't have to haul the gold too far. A lot of it anyway. We're going to have to haul 10 million liters, 25,000 liters at a time back to our main pallet storage at the main farm. So there's a lot of truckloads waiting for us on that. And then we've got a water plant. This one is down by the dairy and the bakery. The dairy itself, when we supply milk, gets us hydrogen and oxygen as a byproduct. So we use the byproducts from our dairy to fill this water tower, basically. And then we'll use the water that comes out of here for, I think, the fermenting house. And I'm not sure what else. We may even use this water for the ice house, which is a little bit far away. But this one's just waiting on us to bring milk over to the dairy so we can get more hydrogen and oxygen. The ratio of production you can see is like 10 to 1, right? Or not quite, 5 to 1, I guess. So for every 500 hydrogen plus 500 oxygen we supply, we get 5 times as much water out. So we should have plenty of water. This water plant is loaded with water, and this is the one near the stone processing plant. So these wash plants use a lot of water, and the stone processing building uses a ton of water. And we have a bunch of hydrogen and oxygen coming out of our refinery. Just talking about that. So some of that is going into this water tower to make water for all of our stone processing needs. And then we may put more businesses over there that use water and make use of this. Hydrogen and oxygen are super duper slow to transport in my 100,000 liter tanker truck. So man, and we have an abundance of it. We have tons that we're going to have to get rid of. So I'm selling some, and then I'm converting as much to water as I can close by so I don't have to haul this stuff so far. And that's it. In a nutshell, that's all our businesses. We saw all the animals not too long ago. Let's see where they stand in terms of the ones that are worth the most money are the oldest, right? That's these guys. For our beef cows, we've only been buying the young ones, the really young ones. So we don't have anything that's more mature than this. And these guys are 33% of the way through puberty, and then eventually we're going to start getting reproduction out of our beef cows. These beef cows, I think most of them are going to end up going to the slaughter mill. There's products that we'll get from the slaughter mill that we'll need to take to other businesses. So there's a bunch of production chains that these guys are going to feed. If we end up getting a ton of more than we can deal with or something, or the business is back up, then we can sell these for profit too. But I don't think we're going to run into that problem. We'll just wait and see. These guys are loaded up with hay. We're in good shape. The sheep barn, we've only been buying the little young ones. Let's see what the most mature are. What's the highest price here? $250. These guys are 75% of the way through puberty. We're getting a decent amount of wool off of these guys, almost enough to start hauling. How's food looking? grass looks fine. And yeah, not much to worry about with these guys. We just keep buying these every other episode, and we'll do it until we get, I don't know, 1,800 or something. Maybe we'll stop at. The sheep pen holds 2,000, so we'll try and get kind of close to that and leave room for offspring, I guess. Dairy cows. These ones we've been buying a mix, right? We've been buying half baby cows and half fully mature cows. So this is the only cow barn where we have fully mature cows. And it looks like these guys right here are the most mature of them all, and they're already starting their reproduction cycle, which is good to see. So they're 20% of the way through. We're feeding these guys total mixed ration. I think there's room for more food. Maybe we'll mix some TMR soon. And then chicken coops, we just got started on these, and we've been doing kind of the same thing as we've been doing with the dairy cows. Buying little babies and then buying adults. These guys, let's see. I mean, we just started this, yeah, so they're not even starting their reproduction yet, but we're getting eggs. And then we just have two of these. We have two different coops. They should be pretty much identical to each other in terms of what they have. And we'll see how fast these guys chew through the grain. These pens, I believe, hold 2,000 animals each. And we've been buying these up like pretty fast. What, 120? What do? We do, yeah, 125 at each chicken coop. So we've been doing 250 chickens per episode buying. So pretty soon we won't have to buy these anymore. We'll be kind of at max capacity in the chicken coops, and then we'll make, I guess we're just going to make use of the eggs out of here. Maybe it'll become a profitable product for us. That's it. That's the animals. That is the production lines. What else can I show you about what we've been doing? Not much. Yeah, debt we're paying off kind of slow. We still owe 6.29 million. We're paying this off 20 grand at a time. And how is our profitability? Looks like we made money in February, where we saved more than we spent, earned and saved more than we spent. And so far in March, same thing. That may change. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I've got fields I want to buy, and I got cash in the bank. So we may be spending a bunch of money. We're going to get a bunch of fertilizer costs this month too, I think, as we plant fields. But yeah, that's it. That's it in a nutshell. So hopefully that gets everybody up to speed with where we're at. Let's do a little work. I've already kind of rambled on for a good long time. Let's kind of want to haul some of these trees off the field. Let's do a little bit of that. Oh, check it out. We've got a worker that's done tedding. Let's move this guy out. Doesn't even need maintenance, but maybe we'll give this guy a power wash. This was our clover field. We're going to turn this over to be corn. That's a pretty good sized field too. Let's give this guy a wash and we'll push him over to the side. This guy, this tractor may be the one we use to collect up all the hay. We still have a helper on the field doing some windrowing. Yeah, that looks clean. I'm just going to hop in and move this tool back over to this area. We don't own this field. Let's just drop this here. And then I'm actually going to hook up our forage wagon. We just power washed that thing, I think, last episode. And I think we need the bond silage. We've got, I see there's like a half a pallet of that additive over by the field silo there. What am I doing? I'm on the wrong side. We'll have a helper do this work for us, but I don't think I'm going to set up the helper right now. Just because I don't want him crossing paths with the other helper that we've got on the field. let's bring this over towards the far side of the field. That's where this guy is going to start. And we can kind of peek here and see if we can get a feel for where our windrower is. Yeah, the windrower looks like it's probably right there, right? And see kind of a clean row next to a messy one. So that is almost ready for us to start collecting. Like I said, we could do it, but I'm just afraid the helpers are going to run into each other, even though it's a huge field. So I'm just going to get this guy kind of in position. And then we'll set up all the course play stuff maybe next episode. All right, let's keep tabbing through. Oh, our Big M. This guy needs a power washing, and we're going to bring this over. Oh man, does it ever need a power washing? And it needs maybe a little bit of maintenance, and it needs fuel too. We'll worry about that later. This truck, that's what I want. Let's go park the animal trailer, and then we're going to haul some logs, and then we'll probably call it an episode. I did a lot of babbling, but hopefully it helped get you up to speed. Oh, you know what? The last thing is we can check. I know this is a big, long talking episode. Let's look at progress towards the 10 million liter objectives. So most of our stuff that we're saving up here at the main farm. The only item that we're saving 10 million liters of that's not up here is the logs. We have that down by the forestry area. I'm not sure how many we have over there. Maybe 2 million liters of logs. So let's take a look. Coal is done. Ore is done. That's kind of what I'm considered to be iron. Sand is super close. Between episodes, a couple episodes ago, I hauled a ton of sand. So we're 800,000 liters away from meeting our 10 million liter objective on sand. Salt is right on the heels of the sand. Hay almost doesn't count. We're going to be using that, making TMR and stuff out of that. Snow, we've saved 4 million. Grass almost doesn't count. We're going to be actively using that to feed sheep and maybe make silage and stuff. Silt, we're just kind of gaining ground on that. I probably mined about 1 million liters of that. 2 million liters. I put 1 million into our fertilizer factory and put another 1 million into the storage here. So we're at 3.18 million liters of that. Stones, 2.3, and then it kind of drops off from there. You can take a look. We want 10 million liters of all those things. Every product on the map. That's our goal. If we go over to pallet storage, see how this guy's doing. Got a bunch of nails. We seem to produce more than we can make use of over at the carpentry mill, or the I think Old Man's Mill might take the nails too. Maybe not. Maybe they take steel. We have a surplus of nails and steel, so I've been bringing them here. Plastic sacks, we're bringing those here. Obviously, you can see 3 million liters. Sugar, early on, when we were producing sugar, I didn't have a place to use it. That has changed. We're not going to be saving up sugar in storage probably for a while. We have a lot of businesses that can make use of it, and more businesses that are to come online using it. Same thing with the barrels. Wheelchairs, that's just one product we're saving, not selling. Trying to work towards 10 million liters. And then you can see all of the rest. Not terrible. Not as good as the ore, but not terrible. And then last we have liquid storage. We've got that over here. Water is we've met our 10 million liter objective. We have a free water trigger right here, but we used to have a water factory, and we actually made all those 10 million liters of water we made from hydrogen and oxygen in a water factory that used to be straight ahead. We just got rid of it. Hydrogen and oxygen, I mentioned we have a huge surplus of that. It is super slow to haul, but every once in a while I do bring some over here. So we've got 2.3 million liters saved up from both of those. We also have some diesel, and then it kind of, you can see it kind of drops off from there. A little bit of slurry. Eventually that won't be a problem. And I actually have one load of glue over here. That's liquid. It takes forever to produce that, but not too bad. So yeah, tell you what, why don't we just wrap this episode here? That was kind of a catching up, level set, along with the end of the last episode where I talked about what fields I'm looking at getting and where all our current fields stand. you should have a complete picture, more than you wanted to know, about where we stand in this series. We've got a lot more to do, and I gotta say, I'm super enjoying this playthrough. It's a mammoth challenge trying to save up 10 million liter objectives, 10 million liters of every product on the map with all the mods, and then also trying to own all the fields on this 16 times map. But I'm really enjoying it. I hope you are too. We'll leave it here, and we'll start next episode. We'll go pick up some sheep and then get to work. That's it for now. This is Glidercat saying thanks so much for watching. I do hope you enjoy this series on the Angel Mountain 16 times map, Farm Sim 22. If you do, please remember to give the videos a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. I'll see you all in the next episode.